Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. If you're watching this on the replay, I welcome you. It's been a long time since I posted my page. Actually, it's been a particularly long time since I did a live stream, and I figured why not get back into it in 2026. So I'm just setting up right now, really quickly, so that I can follow along. If there's any questions that I'm going to get or have, I just can't see them right now, so I'm just pulling them up on the side. But I'm excited. I created some coloring pages that are available in my Stan store. If you click the link in bio, I'm just gonna start on this page today. I illustrated it last year for a book that I've been working on. So today I'm going to be coloring it. I'm really excited to hop in. If you've been following, you know that I had my daughter a little over a year ago. So it's been a bit of a adjustment to get back into coloring, into drawing, and even with work being an illustrator. So if you're seeing this, just know that the effort is being made 100% in terms of just being able to just get back online and share my work. It's been a transition, but it's not impossible. So I'm gonna start with some base skin colors. Let me see. I have like a light idea of what I want to do with this page today, but I'm not really sure. So the idea of my streams is that I'm just gonna create as much art that time allows while my daughter is essentially asleep, and that's pretty much it. As a mom, and even before I was a mom, finding time to just make art in the day always felt like a chore, because it was never really one of my top priorities to just do things for fun. And I never really associated making art for fun once I started doing it for work. So right now, I'm kind of getting back into the ritual of just making things because I want to. It's weird, having my daughter has taught me so much about how fast time goes by, but also I have to prioritize the things that I want to do, or else I will literally just think about her, think about my husband, think about like life, and not actually cater to the things that I intended to originally set out to do, which is so insane. Because why is it so easy to put myself on the back burner? It's so easy to just say like, okay, what does everyone else need, and how do I make sure tomorrow works out great, or like how do I make sure everyone's okay and that tomorrow runs smoothly. But I never actually consider like what do I want to do so that I am not like socially and mentally deprived. So it's funny, I'm getting back into that, and becoming a mom didn't just immediately take away all of my desires, which was so funny because I feel like my whole entire life I've been warned and told like, when you become a mom, you have to put away a lot of things and you have to focus on your kids. But okay, I've been a mom for about a year and a couple months, and what I can say is that my desires did not go away. So, if anything, they're even louder than they were before, because as I'm taking care of my daughter, I'm thinking about all the things I could be doing. Like I love this girl so much. But I also realize like there's so many more things in me that I feel like I'm capable of. So, it's been pretty exciting to see myself and acknowledge that like, wow, I'm still here. Like I didn't just disappear into motherhood. Hi, Edna. It's nice to see you. Good afternoon. Where are you streaming from? I am here in Canada, and it's about 2 p.m., 2:04 p.m. Just talking about getting back into art and prioritizing it today. Because do not let anyone fool you. Becoming a mom does not suddenly take away the urge to be creative or to take care of yourself. I'm so happy you love drawing. It's so important I've been drawing since I was a kid, and as a 31-year-old mom now, I can definitely say I still love it. It's one of my passions. It keeps me going, and it's literally one of my greatest investments in my entire life. It's something I don't regret investing all of those hours doing. It's just so much fun. Hi, Ricky. It's so much fun doing art. It's so weird because, like, throughout my life, I've had so many different professionals and people encourage me about doing art when I was a kid. And then when I was going through my 20s, they're just like, okay, so when are you going to start doing something like, serious? And I'm like, wait, so this isn't like a real thing? But it turns out it is a real thing. Like, I work as an illustrator, so it's amazing that I think being an artist is something not a lot of people understand, even though I feel like a lot of people are artists, even if you work in finance, even if you work in medicine, it just looks a little different. So definitely I am a huge supporter of people who want to explore the arts and go into it, because the only ones who understand it are the ones who take the leap. So I'm just gonna go over and do another layer of skin here and see where that takes us. So I did the first layer, and as you can see, you can see the lines from where I did the original strokes. I'm not a big fan of that, so let's see what the second layer will do. I'm gonna take my time a bit more. So this line art that I'm coloring is something that I illustrated, and I just love making line art. It's probably my strong suit, sketching, and line art and inking is my strong suit. Coloring isn't, but it's still fun to do. So these sessions when my daughter is asleep are opportunities for me to just work on the skill and make art that I'm happy about. I don't spend a lot of my days making art for myself and doing it for fun. So right now, instead of napping myself or cleaning, I told myself, the dishes will be there in an hour or two. So why don't I just use this time for myself? Yeah, already I'm liking the second layer. I might have to go through and swatch these markers again to make sure that this is the color I want to use. Well, no, not that this color I want to use it. I wonder if there's like a warmer version of this color. So I have the 320 pack of Ohuhu markers, and I purchased the skin tone pack, which I absolutely love. But I actually wish I had taken my time with purchasing the 320, because there's so many I'm overwhelmed and it makes me not want to pick it up as much. So right now I feel looking at what color I should select next is a bit of an overwhelming experience, because I can't really anticipate what I'm going to get. Even though I have swatched them, knowing what it's going to look like on your page is totally different. So we're going to have to see this one together. Okay, let me take my time because I don't want to have more lines. I figured going in the opposite direction would be better, so I can fill those gaps where the marker didn't reach before. I kind of like that. So let's keep going. Definitely thank you if you're still here and you're watching. I appreciate the likes, and whether you've commented or not, I appreciate you just sticking around and being here. Something as simple as this is honestly filling my cup. I might regret it in terms of being tired later, but in another sense, I'm gonna be so happy that I did something for myself. So I'm just looking at my color sheet. So I created this color sheet for myself. And I was like, okay, let me practice skin tones. So this is what I do in my spare time, and I'm working on some more. These are kind of old. I want to update these, but the one that I'm working on is her. So I'm just gonna take the swatches that I've already pre-made and go from there. It's like my little cheat sheet because I cannot, like, I am not going to create anything if I feel too overwhelmed. So the best way to approach this is to kind of take the guesswork out of it. Even though some people might find that super boring, um, I like the experience of making things and having an idea of the predictable outcome. So I do the boring stuff first so that when I'm actually working on like a passive piece like this, I don't have to think about, oh, you know, what colors look well together, which ones are working and which ones aren't. So that's what I'm doing right now. Just to explain, like, I'm not just picking these colors at random. I thought about this in advance, and I'm showing up here because that's yeah, I don't really like to think live and on the go because I tend to freeze sometimes. So yeah, just explaining a little bit of my thought process with that. So apparently this is what I used for skin last time. So one thing I forgot is that the markers behave differently if you use a darker shade on top of your base shade that's already wet. So it's like wet on wet application. So I'm gonna do that instead of going in with it dry. See that? It's an okay color, but I'm not crazy about it. Yeah, I'm gonna try to blend it out with this one here. Yeah, I want to get like a shadow that's a bit warm, not warmer, but it's cool and not just like a darker brown. But I might have to go in afterwards with some coloring pencils to fill in any gaps, but we'll see. We shall see. Okay, let's go in with some more shadows. I'm not really a huge fan of doing too much detail. I like to keep things really simple because my attention span is, like, it's pretty good, but I get bored easily with art. Like, if I'm not moving on to the next thing, then I might just dilly-dally, take too long, and then kind of overwork the area, which isn't very fun. And I feel like I ruin pieces that way because I tend to overthink. So I'm gonna try to keep it really simple today. Okay, so let's put the shadow here because technically this leg is in front. Oh, it can be, but I want to give that impression. And we're gonna go in with this darker tone. Yeah, that's that. This is like a personal challenge to see how much I can accomplish before my daughter wakes up from her nap. Let's do that. Let's do this too. Not too much shadow. I don't want to make any cleavage like the focus of the piece, but I do want it to be present. So let's go back over with this color and kind of bring it back in. Let's go over here. Let's see. I think I can just go straight into the ear with the darker one. I want to get a more reddish, bluish, purplish shadow color that I want to do like a small wash. We'll have to see. I don't really like the brown on brown right now, but let's see where it takes us. The goal is just to do something today and to keep it moving. Don't stick around too long. If you're an overthinker like myself, spending too much time thinking about like, is it gonna look good, just isn't worth it when you're already on limited time. Sometimes it's better to just explore if the purpose of your art session is having fun, like mindless fun. So do not punish yourself. I don't actually want that color. Nope. If you can't see something or if there's any issues with the live stream, please let me know and I'll try to do any fixing on the back end here if you can't hear me or anything like that. Let's see, what do I want to do next? So I'm gonna take some time to pull out a color for the jeans. I want her to be wearing like maybe a faded blue jean. Not too dark. I think I want to keep it kind of soft. As I'm going through my swatches, it's really funny. Like I'm seeing old illustrations and old coloring pages that I made. I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember when I did that like 2 years ago. It's been so long since I really sat down and allowed myself to do this. You really have to be intentional about making things. It's amazing. Last year I got work done. I still did my work for my job, but I didn't actually create like a body of work that I could share online and be proud of, which was kind of sad. I totally felt heartbroken about that because you tell yourself in January or throughout the year that you're going to do something or that like you're going to be more creative and make more art pieces, and then when it finally comes to it, you're like the year passes you by and maybe you shared one thing online, but because you had it in your head that you were going to do that thing like for real, you really thought you were doing something. At least I actually thought I was doing something. So it's kind of sad in my sense where I was like, man, the whole year went by and I didn't get even like an inch closer to my goal. So I really want to be intentional this year about taking advantage of the opportunity to really just create artwork that I can look back on and say, wow, I did something this year. Because I've always felt like art for me was a reflection of kind of like, it's like a diary. I look back on my art like a diary. And, oh, hey, Anna, welcome back. Glad to have you back. Like, art is a diary for me. So when I don't make enough of it, I'm like, what did I even do that year? And it kind of takes you back to those moments throughout the year that were important for you. And it's really cool how, like, if you make enough artwork in a year, it's like when you're on, what is that app called? Like Spotify or YouTube, and you look at your Wrapped and you're like, wow, I remember how hard it was for me to get through this challenge, and coloring the hair for this was good. Or you look at like really botched art that you made that you didn't even share, and you're just like, at least I did it. Like when I look back on art pieces that I didn't even like years later, I'm still proud of myself because it's better I did it and I didn't like it than I just let the idea sit in my head, contemplating if it was gonna be a good idea or could I do it or not. So I need this year for myself to actually be about it. I need to be about making things. I want to have a track record. I want to have a history. And I want to have at least something to say, like, yeah, I didn't really work out. I need evidence, you know? And sometimes you just need evidence that you tried. So I want to do this blue, but I need another shade I want to compare it with. B22. Yeah, these are way too many colors. I wish I just went for something simpler with a set of colors that I got. B22. I'm going to start with this one. So going with the jeans, I don't know if I intended to give her a belt, but I think for this specific stream, she's not gonna have one. Or maybe she will, I don't know. I'll decide later. So yeah, as you can see with the first application, the streaks are very noticeable, but you do not have to allow it to be that way. Then again, it is the paper that I'm using. Hey Randall Bear. And so it is the paper that I'm using. I prefer in this season to print out my coloring pages because I could use it on cardstock, for example. So like this cardstock is so much thicker than what you would get on Amazon, and it just allows the marker to absorb so much better instead of it bleeding through. I don't mind it bleeding through. It's just sometimes you have to be careful with the pressure you apply. So what I do, when I make my own coloring pages, I just print them out myself. And if I'm using anyone else's coloring pages online, I see if there's a digital version available. And it just gives you more it gives me more flexibility and more control on how I like to use markers. So I'm going in with the second layer here. I have to remember to take my time. It's kind of depressing that sometimes it feels like as you get older, the first thing you start to compromise with and say like, hey, I don't think I have time for this is your creative hobbies. I find it can get a little challenging to make them a priority or perceive them to be a priority. So as I'm making this piece, I'm like, why did I stop doing this in the first place? Like, why do we stop those things? It's so easy to just stop something that actually makes you happy. But then again, continuing to be creative and like make time for art can be a little yeah, it can just be a little confronting. It's not one of those things where just because you thought about it, it was made. It's like you actually have to do something with those thoughts. If my stream is lagging, I'd love for you to let me know if you find like you can't, like it's not working well, or if it's just not streaming well. Maybe I can make some changes on my end or restart the stream, I'm not sure. Well, I cannot promise that I'll be live every day or every other day because it's really dependent on how my daughter sleeps, as I was sharing with you before. What's great is that once I know she's in for a nice, at least hour-long nap, I should be back during the weekdays. I can't guarantee the weekends. It can be a little unpredictable. But I do plan on coming back live tomorrow. Let's see. I don't know which shadow I should use for the pants. Let me try B250. I didn't use this one, so let me look for that color. So I do apologize in advance if the stream ends like randomly, because once she wakes up, I am back on duty. So I do try to keep my pages really simple, especially with markers. I don't like to exhaust myself with too much detail. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's the color I was using before. Like if this was a digital piece, I'd approach it so much more differently, but marker is not as forgiving. So I am being very light-handed here, and because I still want to have fun and not stress myself out, I'm approaching this with a much simpler application. I think as I build more experience, it'll be, I'll take more risks, but right now I'm just like, I just need something to get down on this paper. There we got a bit of a crease, some folding. Let's do a bit more here. So I live in Canada, in Ontario, and there was like this huge polar vortex that went through. I know the United States was hit too, but like being in Canada, we are quite used to getting cold weather, but I am not loving this winter. This winter has been so frustrating. I want to go outside. I need the sun. I need sidewalks that are accessible and not full of snow. I need spring, like desperately and sincerely signed, Shalene, myself, yours truly. I can't do much more with this. I need for February to kind of like accelerate and literally just zoom past. I need March ASAP. I know March still has potential for snow and all of those things, but yeah, this cold is not it. When I was a lot younger, I did not mind winter. It was kind of just like something that happened and I could live with it. But now in my 30s, I'm like, hold on, like this is actually kind of cold. I don't want to be out here. Like, what was I thinking? It's not okay. At least it's not okay for me. It's really not. I look forward to the day when those essentially 6 months of like pure warmth. You know, I might be a little bit of a hypocrite because like I don't even like hot weather. I'm definitely a spring fall kind of girl, but at this point, no. I don't know about that. I don't know about this. It's not safe out here. Like this weather is cold. The way the body responds with age, I don't know. It was so different before. Okay, so these jeans, for right now, that's kind of all I see. I might go over this area down here. I might go over this area down here with a full wash of a darker shade, and I might end up filling this in too. Like, I actually don't know what I was thinking. I think I should just fill it all in blue because right now it's not really speaking to me. I might leave it. Never mind. So I might do pink, like a pink bra with like an orange, yellow, ochre jacket. Let's see where that takes us. Because I know this flower is going to be like yellow and orange together. So let me see about that. So I'm just selecting some colors here. Definitely the most stressful part for me. think I have an idea of what I want to do. I just want to make sure I choose the right shade. So I might do the yellow first and then do the pink. Yellow is one of those colors where it's so bright, it shows errors like so easily. And like you have to start light and then build your way dark. At least that's how I do it. So let me see. This one is called Y2. It's called Sunflower. Oh, that's like a really pretty yellow. Let me rest this here. Get Y3. That one's called Barium Yellow. If you haven't already, I encourage you to like the live stream. This will just let other people know that I'm live, but also if you're liking this live stream, other people who are like you and who like art or who just like hanging out will see it. I know things get buried in the algorithm sometimes, but I do acknowledge that it takes a team to get the word out there. So let's start with this yellow. I kind of wish the sweater that I illustrated was like a knit, but that requires a bit much of like detail, and I do not have the time for that. But I wish I did. Like I really wish I did. There comes like this point when I'm illustrating where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I could feel the. It's like an energy source. I don't know. When I'm making art and when I'm like illustrating the lines or coming up with an idea, I have like a certain bandwidth that I can handle, and anything outside of that, I can start to feel when it's fading. I'm like, okay, I gotta wrap it up. It's like we're done here. And around that point, if I keep going, it'll kind of just be muscle memory, but it's not really coming from anywhere. And like I could be mindlessly drawing, which is good for like repetitive tasks, like if I know I'm just filling in blocks. But if it's requiring like actual attention and ingenuity and things like that, and like fresh idea, yeah, I'm not getting any. So it's really funny that like as I'm here looking at this page, I can remember all those moments where I'm just like, yeah, I have to be mindful. Like I'm starting to feel that now. Sometimes I wonder like, should I do like practice color swatches and color palettes before I go live? But I'm like, doesn't that take the fun out of it? But I don't know. It's too early. I shouldn't even be thinking about it this far. I told myself, go live, see what happens. And create it live, see what happens. There's no real error in just starting. So yeah, that's that. I'm gonna shut down these thoughts now and see where that takes us. So that's the first layer. As you can see, it's kind of working well, I would say. I'm liking this yellow against the skin tone and the shorts. Like I think the skin tone could be a lot warmer personally, but we'll get there. As I was saying earlier. I'm wondering for the next stream if I should attempt to live stream this vertically. That's one. I'm like wondering what the difference would be. Like I feel like it'd be easier to watch on PC, but like on mobile, like when I'm scrolling YouTube live, it's definitely better to have things vertically. But I wonder if horizontal is the way to go in terms of when it's actually on, like post live stream, and anyone who's watching on the back end and watching any replays. So I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to think about that. If you have any ideas, let me know. What is your preference in terms of how you watch your live streams? Do you prefer it horizontally or do you prefer it vertically? And like, what streaming device do you use? Because I know I mean, like, what video watching device are you? Are you like on your TV? Are you using a cell phone, a PC? Because all those things matter in terms of um, just the whole viewing experience. So I want to be mindful of that. Oh, this yellow is so pretty. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh. It's killing me. So let's do the folds of the jacket. I actually really enjoy doing folds and things like that. I just hope I don't screw it up this time. So let's guide it with the base color, and then we're gonna go back over it again with our shadow color. I don't want to have any super hard lines. Okay, so let's, what color is this? Okay. Hey Edna, welcome back. So let's keep going. So it's coming together. Live stream's been going for a little over 35 minutes, so this is what we've been able to accomplish. Welcome back. Okay. So these shadows are coming in really nicely, I would say. I do want to put one here as well. I think we might need like a tertiary shadow that I'd like to do to kind of like push the depth a bit more of like the back of the sweater. It sounds like my daughter woke up. So let's see how long I can go before she starts calling me. Okay, so that's some pretty good progress I'd say we did today. Oh, I really like it. It's coming together. We didn't even get to the highlights yet. Or like intense shadows, so it's really cool. It takes time, but it's worth it. So I might just pick my colors for later. There's no way I'm gonna be able to finish this piece in time. So I'm gonna pause this here. I'm gonna come back tomorrow and probably around the same time once my daughter naps. So if you're not following me already, I highly suggest you do if you'd like to see the finished piece. I'm probably gonna push to finish this tomorrow. And I'd love to see you guys there. For right now, we're gonna end the stream. So this is Shalene. I'm here. This is the art that I've made, that I've illustrated. And if you're interested in coloring along with me, this exact same page, I do have it available in my Stan Store if you follow the link in the bio on YouTube, and it'll take you right there. It's the February drop, and it comes in a set of 3. So all of February, I'm going over 3 different illustrations and 3 different coloring pages, and we can color them together live if you'd like. So my daughter is awake. That gave us about 40 minutes, and this is what we did in 40 minutes. I consider this a huge win because I wouldn't have spent this time otherwise and maybe done other things instead of investing in myself. So I'm gonna be back tomorrow afternoon. I'm excited to see you guys there. Feel free to watch the replay if you just got into the live stream, and subscribe to see more. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Bye.